Okay? Now I do. I've watched Ennis, tremendous fighter. You know, I love what I see. I love his mobility, his explosiveness, and his power. Looks like a real threat up against anybody. I'm a power puncher. I know. When you got dynamite, you got dynamite. You know, and it can light people up in any given round. You know, his opposition is moving up little by little. I believe that he's going to continue to be on this road to victory, growing his name similar to Ortiz, and that's why we're talking about these young men today. What I like is his fight style overall. I haven't seen a lot. I've seen enough that I need to see that says this boy has something. The way he moves, the way he throws is that awkwardness. Reminds me a little bit of myself, but reminds me of a mixture of a Keith Thurman, a Floyd Mayweather, little Pernell Whitaker, because he likes to be crafty.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. Before we get started, I need y'all to smash the like button. I need y'all to subscribe to the channel. Make sure you put the bell icon so you get all the new notifications. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, with that said, what you just heard was the voice of former unified welterweight world champion superstar boxer Keith one-time Thurman. 29 wins, 1 loss, no draws, 22 big wins by way of knockout. He is 33 years of age, 5'8", 5'7", with a 69-inch arm reach. With that said, he'll be making his ring return after a 2.5-year hiatus since his last fight was July of 2019 when he took on and lost to 8th Division world champion iconic Filipino superstar boxer Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao via split decision. With that said, Keith Thurman will be facing off against former junior welterweight WBA regular champion Mexican star boxer Mario Barrios February 5th, Las Vegas, Nevada at the Mandalay Bay Arena. So with that said, Keith Thurman, he referred to the Phenom, undefeated, rising welterweight superstar, title contender, Jaron Boots Ennis. Jaron Boots Ennis is a phenom within the sport of boxing. Okay? 28 wins, no losses, no draws, 26 big wins by way of knockout, 24 years of age, 5'10" with a 74-inch arm reach. Last time we saw him in the ring was October 30th of 2021 when he took on and defeated Thomas Delorme and knocked him out in the first round. With that said, Jaron Ennis is looking to face off against the absolute best in the welterweight division. And Keith Thurman, when asked about fighting Jaron Ennis possibly in the future, Keith Thurman stated that he didn't know who Jaron Boots Ennis is. Okay, now Keith Thurman says he did his homework on Jaron Boots Ennis, and Jaron Boots Ennis has a lot of reminiscence of that of 2 other legends in the sport of boxing who retired, and that is Hall of Fame iconic superstar boxer Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker and retired undefeated Hall of Fame iconic legendary former 5-division world champion pound for pound king Floyd Money Mayweather. Okay, and he says that he does have some reminiscence of himself. He sees some of himself in Jaron Ennis because he likes to be slick. He likes to be, tricky and crafty in the ring. He has a lot of power. And Keith Thurman, you heard him explain that Jaron Ennis has a lot of power, and he loves how he delivers it, and he loves how crafty he is in the ring. So with that said, Jaron Ennis has been calling out Keith Thurman. He's also been calling out undefeated 3-division world champion, who is currently the WBO reigning welterweight world champion and widely considered by many to be the #1 best pound-for-pound fighter in the world in Terrence Bud Crawford. And he's also calling out undefeated unified WBC IBF welterweight world champion superstar boxer Earl the True Spence Jr. Now, as of late, Jaron Ennis has been focusing on Terrence Crawford because Terrence Crawford doesn't have a fight in the foreseeable future. He initially, after his fight with Thomas Delorme, stated that he wanted to face off against Errol Spence. But Errol Spence, he's going into a unification bout against WBA welterweight world champion Cuban star boxer Yordenis Ugas that's set to take place in April. Okay, so with that said, he had turned his attention to Terrence Crawford, who last fought November 20th against 2-time welterweight world champion superstar boxer Showtime Sean Porter, who Sean Porter is now retired, but he initially stated here at Blue Blood Sports TV that he would never face off against Jaron Boots Ennis unless he was absolutely forced into a fight if he had all the belts and he had to defend him against Jaron Ennis. That's the only way he'll see himself getting in the ring with Jaron Boots Ennis, okay? And so with that said, Keith Thurman initially stated and pretended as if he didn't know and wasn't aware of who Jaron Ennis was until Jaron Ennis let the world know, Keith Thurman know exactly who I am. Then Keith Thurman, he responded by saying, now he studied Jaron Ennis and this is what he's come up with. But now Keith Thurman is also on record stating that why should he have to face off against Jaron Ennis, because the fighters of yesterday past era didn't fight him, meaning the Floyd Mayweathers and the Manny Pacquiaos. But that's not true, because Manny Pacquiao, he was willing to give Terrence Crawford the opportunity. He fought and beat Keith Thurman, and he was scheduled to face off against Errol Spence Jr. August 21st, but Errol Spence suffered a broken detached retina and had to be removed from the fight, which saw Yordenis Ugas replace Errol Spence, and he beat Manny Pacquiao via unanimous decision. So that's not entirely true. Now, Floyd Mayweather himself, he never fought Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence, Keith Thurman, or Danny Garcia, Sean Porter. But he did, Manny Pacquiao did fight the likes of these guys, okay? And so with that said, Keith Thurman's on record stating that why should they have to fight against Jaron Ennis, and he's an era behind him, okay? He's a generation behind him. Well, because he's a major player and he's top 3 in all the major sanction belts, the WBC, the IBF, the WBA, WBO, and the Ring Magazine. He's top 5, top 3 in all of these sanction belts. Keith Thurman is not top 10 in the ring. He's not top 15 in any of the major sanction belts. And yet Keith Thurman is explaining that his fight with Mario Barrios is going to be a WBC title eliminator, which makes him the mandatory challenger for the winner of Errol Spence Yordenis Ugas fight that's scheduled to take place in April, okay? Which is completely unfair to the rest of the boxing world, seeing as though Keith Thurman has been inactive. More so is unfair to Jaron Boots Ennis, who's looking to get a title opportunity. He's looking to put himself in position to get a title opportunity. He's now top 3 in all the major sanction belts. And Keith Thurman is jumping the line, and Keith Thurman has been inactive. He's fought in the last 4.5 years. He's only fought twice. That's Keith Thurman, okay? He fought Danny Garcia in 2017. Then he went on a 2-year hiatus. He came back in 2019. He fought Josito Lopez and then Manny Pacquiao. And now he's been out the ring since 2019, coming back, and he's going to fight Mario Barrios in 2022. Okay, so going on 5 years, Keith Thurman has 2 fights in 5 years, okay? And so now he's getting the opportunity to jump ahead of the line and fight for and put himself in position to be the mandatory challenger, as the WBC, World Boxing Council, and President Mauricio Sulaiman has decided to make Keith Thurman Mario Barrios fight for a title eliminator, when Keith Thurman himself has never defended the WBC title. He won the WBC title from Danny Garcia, and he lost the title due to inactivity because he was out the ring for 2 years, okay? And then Keith Thurman, he never defended the title and he never picked it back up, okay? Mario Barrios, he was the WBA regular champion, junior welterweight. He never held the WBC title, and he never defended the WBC title. And yet you have 2 guys who are not in the top 15 in the WBC ranking system going to fight a title eliminator for the WBC title at welterweight to become the mandatory. So the winner of the Errol Spence Yordenis Ugas fight will hold 3 belts. They will hold the WBC, the IBF, and the WBA. And you're telling me that Keith Thurman, Mario Barrios winner, gets the opportunity to fight for all of those belts at the end of the day, okay? Opposed to Keith Thurman facing off against Terrence Bud Crawford, which was being talked about for July, right? Terrence Crawford holds the WBO title. Keith Thurman was Terrence Crawford's #1 objective when he came to welterweight. And Keith Thurman, he stated that after Mario Barrios, he would love to fight Terrence Crawford in 8 months, meaning that around the July time for a massive showdown, okay, for Terrence Crawford's WBO title. Now Keith Thurman is rather sit on the shelf and wait for Errol Spence, Yordenis Ugas winner, okay, and then state that he'll be the mandatory for whoever wins that fight. But the problem is, if Errol Spence wins, Errol Spence is 27 wins, no loss, no draws, 21 wins by way of knockout, 31 years of age, 5'9.5" with a 72-inch arm reach. He explained to the world he has zero interest in fighting Keith Thurman, since Keith Thurman was playing games and never gave him the opportunity to unify the titles or opportunity to win the world title from Keith Thurman. Okay? Errol Spence doesn't hold Keith Thurman in high regard, and Errol Spence is on record stating that if he had to go through Keith Thurman to become undisputed, then he would vacate the belts and move up to junior middleweight, 154. He says, quote, "If I got to go through Keith Thurman, then I see you later. I'm moving up to 154. I'm never going to fight Keith Thurman." So he has no interest in fighting Keith Thurman. And the biggest fight in the sport of boxing is Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence, which the world wants to see. So it makes sense for Keith Thurman to fight Terrence Crawford in July, and then the winner fight Errol Spence in the fall or the winter for undisputed. But now Keith Thurman is looking to put himself in position to jump ahead of the line with a Mario Barrios, who Mario Barrios, no slight to him, has never fought at welterweight, never held a major sanction belt, and never held the WBC title. And this is going to garner Keith Thurman to be in position to fight the winner of that fight. I don't see Errol Spence facing off against Keith Thurman should he be victorious, which I expect him to do, and he'll be the opening favorite against your Dana Sugas. If this is the case, Keith Thurman should face off against Jaron Boots Ennis for the title eliminator, as Errol Spence is looking to fight Terrence Crawford. So let's see how this unfolds. But Keith Thurman explains ultimately why everybody is avoiding Jaron Boots Ennis. He's a mixture between Pernell, Whitaker, Floyd Mayweather, and himself. But that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
Oh, it is your boy Jaden Kiss. Make sure you check out Blue Blood Sports TV. It's going down.